All right. So if you tuned in or if you're watching this video, whatever, you're probably wondering what I mean by my title when I said legal lynching allowed by Michigan courts. Well, let me make it real simple for you. I had my rights completely thrown out the window. Just like I was three-fifths of a human being, like I didn't have any reason to even be in front of the judge because why are you here? You have no rights. That's pretty much what happened to me. And story is so outrageous. It's like hard for me even sometimes to comprehend and put it into words. But I'm gonna put it to you like this: in Michigan, 17th District Court, and also the 27th District Court of Michigan. One court is in Wyandotte, Michigan. That's the 27th District. And the other court, the 17th District, that's in Redford, Michigan. The 17th District Court decided that, well, a clerk by the name of Pam, she decided it was okay for her to have a racial preference on who she helps and who she doesn't. Okay? I had this young lady by the name of Pam, who was the head clerk at the 17th District Court in Redford, Michigan. She basically told me for like 2 hours that I could not file a lawsuit on the person I was going to file it on because all I had of the other person was a P.O. box. So I went back and forth with the person telling him that I needed a valid address or I couldn't file a lawsuit. Every time I called back and I talked to this Pam person again, I asked her, is there any way that I can do this because the other person doesn't have anything but a P.O. box? She's asked me, can she pick up her copy of the lawsuit at your desk? Can she pick it up at the police department next door? You know, just trying to find out, is there any kind of way that I can have this lawsuit taken care of so I can serve this person and we can move forward? Young lady told me no. Not only told me no, she got real disrespectful, real angry, started yelling and all kind of stuff. Basically just disrespecting me. And all I'm doing is trying to find out some information. This is where it gets bad though. After about 2 or 3 hours going through this with this young lady, I finally just told the landlord, the person who I was trying to sue, I can't do anything. They're telling me without a valid address from you, I can't do anything. And not only I can't do anything, they've been telling me in a very disrespectful tone and made it very clear to me that there's nothing I can even do because they wouldn't even allow me to file the lawsuit if all I have is a P.O. box from you. After 2 hours going through that, I tell the landlord that. She calls this court, and within 5 to 10 minutes, all of a sudden, somehow, some way, what I can't do, what I've been told I couldn't do for like 2 hours, this white lady can do it. Not only did Pam, who was also white, not only did she tell her she can do certain things that I couldn't do, Pam changed the rules and the policies of the court and broke the law when she did this. You think, oh my God, people will be outraged that this is happening. How in the world can a white person be given all these privileges, have all these rules changed, be given basically making up new law as we go ahead? However, the black person has to follow the rules on the book. The black person has to follow the rules that the court has, the policies, and that's that. But somehow this white lady, she has the right to have rules created for her. How's that possible in this day and time? Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, it gets worse. After this happened to me, I contacted the court administrator in the 17th District Court in Redford, Michigan, and I asked her, how is this possible that this can happen? How can your clerk give preferential treatment to people based on race? Also, white lady happens to be a police officer. She says she's a police officer, but she's more of like a customs agent. But she do carry a gun, and I guess if she wanted to, you can get arrested. But anyway, I asked the court administrator that. She played all like, oh my God, that's not supposed to happen. We don't do favors and we don't change the rules. And you're thinking, okay, all right, finally. So what's going to happen? Are you going to take care of it? Well, there's nothing I can do, the court administrator says. She says, I have to take that up with the judge. So now I'm still in the position where I can't sue the lady because remember, I can't use my P.O. box. I can't use the P.O. box address, but the white lady can. So I have to wait till the white lady sue me. And that's what she did. So 30 days later, I get a summons. The white lady sues me using the P.O. box that I can't use. How ironic is that? I show up in court, and I tell the judge about what this clerk did because I've been waiting, have the clerk deal with it. Have the judge deal with it. You think the judge will be outraged that somebody in their court is practicing racism and discrimination and breaking court's policies and rules and all this other kind of mess? You think there will be some outrage or at least some concern? Nope. Judge Worth, this is the judge in the 17th District Court, threw her hands up and said she didn't give a care. She shrugged her shoulders just like that, and basically was condescending to me. When I asked her, you don't have a problem with people being treated like this in this court? And she said, well, put it in writing. As if I wasn't going to do that. As if, I was, I don't know, making this stuff up. So I told her, well, this has been brought to the attention of your court administrator now for at least a couple months, because it took that long for us to get in front of this judge. And she said, whatever, just put it in writing. So fine, put it in writing. Because if you keep talking in front of a judge and they don't like your tone or whatever, you can get locked up. So I decided to just shut up. So, make a long story short, I sent the letter in, 9 pages, they ignored it. Then I took my case to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has a division where you're supposed to be able to write to them and tell them this court is doing something wrong, and they inquire the court to find out what's the problem. And the court is supposed to respond in writing, letting them know, letting the person know why certain actions took place. Now, the Supreme Court has always had cooperation from the courts. Oh no, not this court. This court decides that they not going to even cooperate with the Supreme Court. They're going to just basically ignore the complaint, ignore the inquiry. But they did come at me and do something to me because I did take that case to the Supreme Court. They then took my local case, and out of retaliation against me, because I made a complaint on them, they sent my local case to a different district that was too far for me to get to. Then the local district, because I couldn't get there where they sent it to the 27th district in Wyandotte, Michigan. And because I couldn't get there, get this, they charged me lawyer fees of $600, okay? And the judge dismissed my case with prejudice. What that means is that I cannot even sue this white lady now. So most courts like that, when you don't show up, they just dismiss your case. So you have the right to refile if you need to sue again. But one, my case was illegally sent to Wyandotte because in Michigan law, before you change the venue, you have to notify the people involved, and then you have to wait to see what those people say, whether that's going to be a hindrance on them or a burden on them. This court didn't wait for none of that. They just did what they wanted to do. My civil rights blown out the water. Now, my civil rights is blown out of the water in 17th District Court, 27th District Court, because I can't halfway across the state to make it to a court that I didn't ask my case to be sent to. They get mad, and they hit me with failure to appear. Like I'm done some criminal action or something wrong, and the judge then makes it where I can't sue the lady again by dismissing my case with prejudice. Prejudice. It's kind of funny he said prejudice, because the only prejudice taking place in this case is because of my skin color. Now, I made this video because I hope a lot of people listen. I hope a lot of people understand what's going on. The Occupy Wall Street, man, I love them guys for one reason. They're doing something. Maybe you sitting on your couch and you complaining when you see them on the news. But it's time for people to get up off their couch. It's time for people to get out there and march. It's time for people to take back this country. Because if you don't take back this country, these racist Republicans on the right are going to make sure you don't have no rights. And I'm not talking about just for blacks. I'm talking about for a lot of people. I'm talking about for white people who work in the labor union. I'm talking about Latin people's in the labor union, black people in the labor union, Asian people. I'm talking about a lot of people right now. And these particular individuals are going to make it where you do not have any rights. If you don't have any rights, you have no say in this country. Listen, I don't know what's going to happen at the end of my case. I'm going to keep on fighting. But I'm making this video because I want all those people who have to come behind me in the 17th District Court to understand this is a racist court. And if these judges are being allowed to pass judgment on anybody's lives, because they also handle criminal aspects, these judges already have a racist point of view towards people of color. I'm telling you. So if these judges are able to give people time in jail, if these judges are able to give people probation or whatever the case may be, these judges look at you differently if you are a person of color. That is what's happening. And now I'm in a situation where I've lost my right to sue. I have been penalized because I couldn't get somewhere that the court sent my case to illegally. Pretty much, let's just ignore all the laws in the books, because he's a nigger. And you know, niggers don't have no rights. Well, one thing they have done is cross the wrong person. Because I am just like those Occupy Wall Street people. I fight back. So for all you people out there who don't understand what is happening, who don't see what's going on. Right now, there are people trying to make sure you become 3/5 of a human being again, or you become second-rate citizens again in their eyes. It's already starting. And oh yeah, right before I go, did I fail to mention that the court that handled this case, about 10 minutes from them, a little 5-year-old black girl was coming out the movie theater, and about 5 racist white guys went by in the car, and they threw soda pops and stuff like that and assaulted this 5-year-old little girl, all because she's black. That don't tell you what's going on when you're willing to attack an innocent child. That don't tell you what's going on in this country. Nothing will. This is Malachi. Michigan. Michigan is one place that is trying his hardest to take us back. But I'm not going to let myself go back. I would die before that. Also, the corrupt police officer involved in all this, started all this, the one I want to sue, was receiving all the preferential treatment because of her race. Her name is Amy Hatfield. Amy Hatfield. This is one corrupt, lying, racist woman. And unfortunately, she just happens to be in law enforcement. Ironic, ain't it? But you know what? It's a lot of cops and judges going to jail lately. I think people are getting fed up with the fact that just because you have a title or you think you have some authority, that the rules don't apply to you. Well, I'm going to fight back. So please, check in with my page, whatever. I will be making more videos in the coming weeks. But this is the beginning of a revolution. This is the beginning of a time where people are starting to be fed up. This is like Obama said, take your damn house shoes on and put on your combat boots. Because right now, the Tea Party, Fox News, and all these other crazy racist right-wing people are about to do everything they can in their power to take you back to the times where your ass lived on plantations and they controlled all the wealth and you just worked the fields. So if y'all want to be living like that, y'all just keep on ignoring what's going on. Y'all keep watching rap videos. Say y'all keep, hanging in the hood, popping off, what, when it's something much more serious taking place in this country right now. Much more serious. And last thing I want to mention also, when you start looking at the Republican Party and the people who they're running, the people who are running in that party, and you start realizing why is every one of these people, as dumb as they sound and some of the craziest stuff they say, are able to be close to winning the next election. If that doesn't scare you, nothing will. Take care.